Greetings to you all. I'm J. Bharati. I'm a newly joined English teacher, and today I'm going to take a prose to 7th standard. So the grade is 7th standard only. The prose from the chapter 5. I'm going to take you the prose. Okay. So look at the topic first of all. So the name of the prose is The Dog of Pombey. So what is the title of the lesson we are going to see today? The Dog of Pombey. So look at that. So the Pombey, it's not a person, okay? So actually the word Pombey here refers to a place. So the background of the story, the venue of the story is from Italy. So the Pombey is an Italian city. Is it clear? So and then the background of the story, okay, so from the Italian city, and so let me introduce the author of the prose first of all, okay, the name of the author, let me introduce you. So Louis Untermeyer. How to pronounce this name? Louis Untermeyer. So the period, look at his period, 1885 to 1977. So this is the span of his life. So once again, author name Louis Untermeyer and his life from 1885 to 1977. And one more thing I want to tell about, and he is the 14th consultant in the Library of Congress in US, especially for the poetry. So what is a Library of Congress? Actually, Library of Congress is nothing but institution. Actually, it is an institution, the national institution for the library especially. Okay, and then the next thing, he has written so many books and he has compiled and he published under the name the Golden Treasury of Children Literature, especially for the youngsters, especially for the children. He has written so many works, and that works has been published under the name the Golden Treasury of the children literature. So this is the basic thing I have to tell you. And then the next thing, in the introduction itself, we are going to learn about one mountain. Okay, the name of the mountain is Mount Vesuvius. The mountain name is Vesuvius. So that is also, what is that? That is also in Italy only once. And now the main characters of the prose, two. So one is the hero. The hero name is Tito. Hero name is Tito, and his dog, you know very well. In this topic itself, I have mentioned the dog of Pombey. The dog name is Pimbo. So this is the background story. So now let's start the prose piece. So take the page number 71. So this lesson is going to deal with 5 important values. So what are the 5 important values? You know, the first one is the teamwork. Okay, the given importance is what is that? Teamwork. Okay, the teamwork has been given importance here. Second one, sacrifice. The next value is sacrifice. The third one, gratitude, the loyalty. Okay, the third value is the gratitude. The fourth one is the mercy, and fifth one is the relationship. So these are all the 5 values are going to deal with in this prose piece. Okay, so now let me start. The topic of the prose is Dog of Pombey. Page number is 71. So let me read now. Author note, okay, as I introduced you. So Louis Untermeyer, his period is 1885 to 1977, was an American poet, anthologist, critic and editor. You know very well. So he is an American poet, no problem. But anthologist, who is what is that? Who is an anthologist? Anthologist, look at that. Anthologist. The first word of the lesson you are going to learn now. Anthology means collection of poems. So what is anthology? Anthology means collection of poems, compiling what is that? Group of poems. If a person who compiled whether the poems or whether short stories, so who is known as the anthologist. So here are Louis also, he is a writer as well as anthologist. Next one, so his profession, he is a critic. Okay, critic, you know very well, the person who criticizes the negative as well as the positive aspects of the work. For example, nowadays most of the movies are criticized by the critics. Now let me move to the another one. So the editors, there are 4 professions. So I am going to tell you what are they. First one is he is a writer, and second one is he is the anthologist, and third one is he is a critic as well as he is an editor. Okay, now let me move to the next point. He served as the 14th consultants. Okay, he served as the 14th consultants of Library of Congress in US. So the 14th consultants, look at his position. And now let me move to the second point. Untermeyer is the author of or editor of close to 100 books. He has edited more than 100 books, and that more than 100 books not only he has written and he has edited also. Next, so he and his wife created number of books for the young people under the golden treasury of children literature. So this is about the author note. So now let me begin this prose piece. Okay, look at that. So get set. So one of the most devastating volcanic eruption was Mount Vesuvius in 79 AD. Look at the period. The period is 79 AD. Okay, so the contemporary period also, it's a AD only, it's not a BC. So AD, so 79. Look at the early days. Okay, early days of our history. Okay, listen. So in the AD, especially AD, not in the BC. So let me read. The eruption, you know what is eruption? Eruption means broken out only. Okay, eruption. So the eruption of Mount Vesuvius, the name of the mountain is Vesuvius, which is in Italy, as I introduced you already. So Mount Vesuvius in 79 AD was one of the most catastrophic, follow the book, catastrophic, let me pronounce again, catastrophic and infamous volcanic eruption in the European history. If you are taking an account from the European history, okay, especially European history, so when one of the most and one of the notable volcanic eruption is the Mount Vesuvius volcanic eruption, and they have given the 2 adjectives. One is catastrophic and another one is infamous. So let me write catastrophic. The word catastrophic. Okay, catastrophic. So look at the word CATASTROPHIC, catastrophic. Okay, the catastrophic, which means highly disastrous. So what is the meaning of the adjective catastrophic? It's a highly disastrous. And another one word also, infamous. The next word is infamous. So the meaning of the infamous is well known for bad deeds. So already the catastrophic is highly destructive, and infamous here refers to it's known for the bad deeds. Okay, these are all the 2 words have been given. Now, so infamous volcanic eruption in the European history, historians have learned about the eruption from the eyewitness account of Pliny the Younger. Look at that, the eyewitness of this disastrous. Okay, so who was the eyewitness? The first person who had seen this disastrous, Pliny. Look at that, Pliny. Actually, Pliny, he is a Roman administrator. Okay, he was the first eyewitness for this great disasters. So let me read again. So historians have learned about the eruption, about the outbreak of the volcano from the eyewitness account of Pliny the Younger. Okay, his full name is Pliny the Younger. So he is an administrator, Roman administrator, as well as he is a poet also. Okay, listen. So the Roman administrator and poet. So this is about the first stanza. Okay, first stanza of the prose. Now let me begin the second. First stanza is over. The second stanza we are going to we are going to learn from the detailed descriptions of the volcanic eruption and as well as the prose. Okay, this is just an introductions only. Okay, let me begin. So Mount Vesuvius spewed. You know very well the word is spew, which means expelled. The word is spewed, which means expelled. So the Mount Vesuvius, it expelled so many things during the volcanic eruption. So what are the things came out of it? The first one is very cloudy ashes, and another one so many dust, and even you know very well the molten particles. So pumice, everything came out of it. Look at that. So Mount Vesuvius spewed a deadly cloud of volcanic gas, stone and ash to the height of 33 kilometers. Look at the height. Just imagine the height of the volcanic eruption, 33 kilometers. And here they have compared the volcanic erupted height with the Mount Everest. Okay, you know very well the Mount Everest height. Okay, here the Mount Everest is 8.8 kilometers only, but the eruption is 33 kilometers. They have given here additionally. So ejecting the molten rock, you know very well what is molten. So molten, you know very well, it is the liquefied state. Because of the extreme heat, the rock has melted. It has been melted by the extreme heat, that is known as the molten. Okay, molten rock. Even the rock, it has been melted because of the extreme heat. Is it clear? That is the molten. So molten rock and pulverized pumice. Pulverized means crushed, a small pieces, crushed into small pieces, you know very well. So when there was the eruption, automatically the rocks had been broken into pieces. So that is nothing but pulverized. So crushed. Pulverized pumice at the rate of 1.5 million tons per second. Look at that, the weightage. 1.5 million tons of what is it, the particles, it came out of the eruption. Okay, because of the eruption. Now let me move. Ultimately releasing 100,000 times the thermal energy of the Hiroshima bombing. You know very well Hiroshima and Nagasaki. So these two places in Japan, okay, that two places were bombarded in Second World War. Okay, so now they are going to compare the thermal energy of this Mount Vesuvius volcanic eruption. So let me read again. What is that? So ultimately releasing the 100,000 times. Look at that, 100,000 times. It's 100,000 times than the Hiroshima bombarding. Okay, so this is the comparison they have given here. Several Roman settlements were obliterated. Okay, look at the word obliterated, which means destroyed. The word obliterated, once again, several Roman settlements. Settlements here refers to the building, the monuments, everything, okay, in the ancient Rome. So that places were devastated, that places were destroyed. The meaning here is for obliterated is destroyed, obliterated. Let me write now, obliterated, which means destroyed. What were the things destroyed? What is that? The settlements, okay, the settlements of the Romans were destroyed. So let me begin once again. Several Roman settlements were obliterated and buried underneath massive pyroclastic surges and ashfall deposit. Pyroclastic surges. So rock erupted by, what is pyroclastic? The pyroclastic, which means rock erupted because of the volcanic eruption, okay, especially by the volcano. So once again, several Roman settlements were obliterated, destroyed and buried underneath massive pyroclastic. What is massive pyroclastic means? Which is made because of the volcano. Okay, so rock erupted by volcano. Now, so pyroclastic surges and ashfall deposits, the most well-known being, what is that? The most well-known being Pompeii and Herculaneum. So here, especially the two cities they have given here. Okay, the two cities they have given here. One is the Pompeii. Okay, we know very well. So this place we are going to see in our prose, and another one place is Herculaneum. The two places, one is Pompeii and another one is the Herculaneum. So now let me move to the next point. Okay, the number of deaths is difficult to evaluate. The remains of about 1,500 people have been found at Pompeii and Herculaneum, but it is not known whether they represent a small or a large part of overall death. The estimations, okay, especially how do we call it, what is that, especially the peoples those who died in this event. Okay, so if you're talking about the estimation of the death rate, so they have given here almost 1,500, but the historians said that this is maybe approximately they have registered, either it may be more, okay, the death rate may be more. So this is for approximately they have said that 1,500 of the remains were there during the volcanic eruptions. Okay, so maybe the archaeologists they found it about the death rate. So once again, the number of death rates is difficult to evaluate. The remains of 1,500 people have been found at Pompeii and Herculaneum. So remains means very well dead body. Okay, dead body of 1,500 people were found at Pompeii and Herculaneum. Okay, so now let's move to the third one, which means the prose. We are going to start the prose. So far we have learnt only about the volcanic eruption. So now we are going to learn the topic, the prose. What is the prose? The dog. Okay, about the dog prose only, the dog of Pompeii. So now let me begin. So Tinto, okay, so what is that? The name of the person already introduced here, Tito and Bimbo. Tito is the boy, he is almost like a 14 or 15 years old boy, and Bimbo is the dog. Bimbo is the dog only. Look at now. So Tito and his dog Bimbo lived under a wall where it joined the inner gate. So they didn't have a proper place to live. Okay, so the joining of the doors, which means very well. So the joining part of the door, it is not enough to survive, but they adjusted because they didn't have a proper place to live. So let me read. Tito and his dog Bimbo lived under the wall where it joined the inner gate. Underline the word inner gate. The place they were lived is the inner gate of the area. Now let me move. So they really didn't live there, they just slept there. It's not their permanent place. So wherever the place is available, they used to sleep. They used to sleep. They didn't have a permanent residence. Okay, they don't have a permanent residence to survive. Now let me move on. They really didn't live there. They just slept there. They lived anywhere. Pompeii was one of the gayest of the old Latin towns. As I told you already, it's an Italian city. Pompeii is an Italian city, and this is the gayest. They have given the word gayest. The word gayest, which means very beautiful and very what is that? It's filled with happiness. The gayest, which is filled with happiness, and it is very beautiful. So this is the meaning of the word gayest. Look at now. So Pompeii was one of the gayest of the old Latin towns, but although Tito was never an unhappy boy, he was not exactly a merry one. So he is a balanced one because he is a very poor boy and he is a blind also. Okay, so Tito is a blind boy, and so here they have said that he was not completely happy and he was not completely sad. He was in the middle position. So either what is that? He was not more happy as well as he was not very sad also. So this is the thing you have to look at about the boy. Okay, now so they lived anywhere. Pompeii was one of the gayest of the old Latin towns, but although Tito was never an unhappy boy, he was not exactly a merry one. Merry means happy. Okay, merry means happy only. The streets were always lively with shining chariots, bright red trappings, and the open air theatres rocked with laughing crowds, and sham battles and athletic sports were free for asking in the great stadium. So here the poet, he described the place about the Pompeii. Already he said that he is the gayest. So very beautiful place. very happiest place. And one more thing, so many places were there. What are they? So many open theatres were there, and so many what is that, some false battles were there, even some stadiums were there. Okay, so the peoples, even so many what is the trappings means like screens. Okay, for a decorating purpose, trappings we usually use. So many attractive trappings, so the decorations were there. So this is about the physical description of the place. Now, so once a year the Caesar visited the pleasure city and the fireworks lasted for days. The sacrifice in the forum were better than the show. And Caesar, okay, you want to know about the Caesar. Here they have given the Caesar. Suppose if they have given only Caesar, mean it's the name of the person, but the Caesar refers to the ruler of the place. The Caesar refers to the ruler of the place. Once a year, so the ruler of the place, he used to come to the place to look at the happiness of the people. At the time, the entire place, it resembled like a festival ground. Okay, so it was so filled with fun and everything. So such a ritual, just like a ritual, they started to celebrate the event of arrival of the ruler, especially the Caesar. Here they have given. Okay, now let me move to the next stanza. But Tito saw none of these things. He was blind, had been blind from birth. As I told you already, so Tito was a blind boy, and so when he got his blindness from his birth onwards, okay, from his birth onwards, he was a blind boy only. And you know very well that company, okay, the person who accompany him is his dog only. Now, so he was a blind, had been blind from birth. He was known to everyone in the poorer quarters, but no one could say. So the people mostly knew our dog along with Tito always, and the dog is not only a pet, so which is always a nurse, always a pillow. So whenever he wants to sleep, he used to grab it and he started to sleep on it. Okay, so such a all-rounder. Even he treated him as his child. Okay, so the dog which is played like the role of a parent also. So such a good relationship they had. So when they lived in the small place. So such a very inspiring prose this is. So we will see elaborately in the next class. Okay, thank you.